Do-do-do-do-do. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Today we are with our influencers again, and they are wonderful people. I'm going to pin myself so everyone can see me. And we are talking about influence, of course, wealth creation, building and establishing wealth that lasts forever, staying in the game of this earth, this world. That's what we were talking about on the other side of this camera. Before we came on YouTube, we were talking about how can we build wealth, how can we establish influence that doesn't go away, influence that doesn't go away. How do we establish influence that stays and that we just don't deteriorate at the end of our lives? We're alone by ourselves, hermits, or uh, whatever else may be out there for us. We're going to continue to win and be strong. So that's what our conversation was. And so if you're interested in being a part of a community of wealth creators, influencers, accelerators, that it doesn't matter where you're starting. If you're a millionaire, if you're starting off at a zero, you have a zero. We are here and want to help you build who you are called to be because God's called you to be someone. I want to talk to you today about the power of serving your way to profits. Serving your way to profits. The power of serving your way to profits. One of the things that's extremely important as you do more of the online game is to serve, is to add value wherever you are. Now, that has not always been just the online game. It's in every game. Every level of business is about serving others. And if you realize that there's power in serving, there's power in releasing what you are and helping others with who you are, it is a transformational position. And if you can give yourself to serving your community, serving the world around you, serving your family, serving your friends, serving leaders that are with you, serving this nation. If you can give yourself to serving your church or your community, this is a faith-based community I talk to and value-based community. So I often mention things like that, faith or church. But if you can give yourself to serving, you'll find that there's power in serving. There's power in giving what you are and helping other people become who they're called to be, or answering a problem, or helping them receive something that's going to take them to the next level. That's extremely important that you live from that place. This was said about King David. The Bible says that King David served this generation. Now that's important that you realize that King David served this generation. When it says he served this generation, it gives you this picture. That word serve gives you this specific picture that King David is in a boat, a rowboat. That boat is a generation or a frame of time or a group of people. That boat is a generation. King David gets into that boat and picks up the oars and he rows his generation forward. I want to ask you a question. Are you moving yourself forward, or is what you're doing moving a generation forward? You need to be doing something at a scale, at a large level, that is not just moving you forward. There's a lot of things that you can do that moves you forward. But there's a difference between income and equity. One, they both have impact. One is going to have income has impact on me. Equity has impact on me, but it also has impact on a larger space, on more. I believe moving my generation is going to give me impact in the way I think is equity. I think about delayed gratification. I think about something that's not going to happen now, but it's going to benefit me later. I'm going to sow into it now. I'm going to build a movement more than I'm going to build a moment. And I do create moments for people because that's what the power of serving is. I create a moment for you, then I create a moment for you, and I create a moment for you. And we stack those moments up, and now we're creating a movement. So I'm trying to create a movement by creating moments for people. The more I can create moments for individuals, the more I can create moments that bring an aha to them, that bring a life-changing scenario to them, the more I can do that, the more I can move them forward. And that's what we want. We want to row a generation forward. Right now, we need to row a generation forward. We need to row this generation into its next level, away from any pandemics or any crises. We need to row this generation out of those things. If a generation stays in crisis too long, or if a people stay in crisis too long, they begin to formulate their thoughts around crises. They formulate what they're going to do around crises, the problems. They expect a new crisis. They expect another thing. And that becomes the mindset as they go from crisis to crisis. They become crisis oriented people. We don't want a generation of crisis oriented people. We want a generation of people that are moving forward, and they're going to continue to move forward and be stronger and stronger and stronger, because we can come back from this. We saw it in the 30s. They came back from that. We can come back from this. We came back from 2008. We can come back from this, and we can be stronger as we move forward. But we have to be people who are no longer thinking crises, but we're thinking moving and rowing. How can I serve my generation and move them forward into another place, another perspective? That's a beautiful thing, to know that there's something about you, there's something in you, there's something that you have that can serve the generation around you, and they will move forward with you. You will create moments for people, and those moments will create, being stacked and pulled together, will then be a movement of who you are and what you're releasing into the earth. I want to create a movement. I don't want to just do a thing. I don't want to just do something. I'm not here to do something. I'm here to create a movement. If I do something today and I die the next week, that's going to get lost in all the headlines. But if I do something every single week that stacks up and to become a movement, a headline cannot dissolve what I've been doing. I don't want to get lost in headlines. I want to be someone who is creating a movement that's going to bring about change. Is there anyone there that would say yes and I to the same thing? That you want to create a movement? I'm not here just to have a job. I'm not here just to get along. I'm here to make something happen and bring about change. And that's important, that you have that kind of fire, that we're going to move things forward. Now, the power of serving is going to be helpful in this, to know that there's power in my serving. I'm not just serving. I'm not just a servant. There's power in my serving. And when we realize that there's power in our serving, then we go forward with strength. We go forward in greater dimensions. If you think about this, and I've been, everyone's thinking about the royal family right now, because the royal family is in a circumstance. If you like them or you don't like them, it's amazing that people wouldn't like certain things. And, but the fact is there's people that don't like it, and people that do. People that think that the royals should be done away with. Yeah, that's fine. That's your thoughts. But the realization is, I like certain things that I see, that even before, when Prince Charles, before he became King Charles, he was over and served a place, or served a territory. Well, that's a part of what we have to do in order to, if you have responsibility, or if you have a title, you should have a responsibility of serving. Titles don't just come for the sake of being recognized, but titles should come for the sake of being a servant. You serve in a specific place. And if you're serving that community, then you should have some recognition of your service. That if you serve, and then it should lead you into leadership. I want to show you something in the scriptures. Now, the Bible is very powerful. There's a couple of references I'm going to give you. Just write this first one down. We're not going to read it, but I want you to write it down. It's in Matthew 23:11. And this part of the Bible says, that Bible tells us that let the greatest of all be servant of all. It's important that the greatest of everyone, that if you're going to be the greatest of all, then you're going to be the servant of all. Now, to serve a lot of people, I'm in this thing where I'm seeing that Abraham said that God said that he was going to be a blessing to all the families. Guess what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to be the blessing to all the families on the earth. Am I there? No, but I'm going to keep on serving until I'm blessing all the families. How do you do that? I don't know, but I'm on my path of trying to bless all the families. I'm going to buy more TV stations. We're going to continue to do more things. The more households I can serve, the more people we can serve, then we're going to get closer to all, right? I'm looking to serve all the people, not serve one. So I'm going to buy more. I'm going to buy more. We buy a station here, buy a station there, buy radio if we have to buy radio, buy satellites. What are we going to do? We're going to continue to buy cable, get on cable. What do we have to do? We're going to do it because we're going to try. I'm searching for how I can be a blessing to all the families of the earth. Now, that means I've got to get in front of all the people of the earth. Somehow that's going to happen. We're going to do that. I'm going to be blessing in front of all the families of the earth. This tells me that if I'm going to be great, I'm going to be the greatest of all, which means the elder of all, the highest leader of all things. I want to be a leader. But if I'm going to be a leader, I have to be a servant. How many of you want to be a leader? If you want to be a leader, you've got to find your place of leadership and understand your leadership by how you serve others. Don't just try to get into leadership, get into serving others, and you will recognize how you lead. You'll recognize your leadership potential. You'll recognize your leadership moxie. You'll recognize your leadership savvy, and you'll rise to another place of leadership. You want to be an elder, you want to be a leader, you want to be someone that's powerful, you want to be someone that's dynamic, then find out how you serve other people. Serve them. Well, I make great pies. Then serve people with your pies, but don't just be a pie maker. Go and learn how to do business so that you serve all the people with your pies, right? So doing business takes me out of just being someone who makes a great pie, but being someone to someone who now thinks, how can I serve this pie to all the people, right? I want to just serve this pie to one individual, two individuals. I love that, but my leadership is going to be really found in how I take that pie and how can I serve all the people. All the people. Just write that out on my influencers. Just write all the people. We want to get to this season where mass communication, mass serving, mass delivering, mass helping, mass ministry, mass building, whatever it is, we're going after all. If I want to be the greatest of all, if I want to be the elder that's highest of all, if I want to be the leader of all, then I need to first be the servant of all, the person who's going to come down and figure out how can I serve everybody? And then the more I serve people, the more I recognize what they're really wanting, As a leader, I've been in the position where I'm leading and I think I know what people want. But when I get into a place of serving, I always discover what people want when I'm serving them, when I'm finding out, would you like this? No, I really don't want that. Okay, then I'm not really serving you, because when I'm serving you, I'm giving you what you want, what's going to help you, what's going to strengthen you. So if you're going to start a campaign, start the campaign with some serving. How are you going to serve the people? What are you bringing to the people? What's your service to the community? Who are you serving? What are you planning to serve them? And how are they going to benefit from what you're serving? Make sure you know what they want. People often hear me say Green Eggs and Ham is my second favorite book. Well, probably my fifth favorite, maybe my 23rd, fifth favorite book, because I have the Bible and then I have 13 books. So it's the 16th book, right? 14th book, right? So, but Green Eggs and Ham is one of my favorite books, is because you need to know how your customer is going to eat what you have. And they want it. They've never had it. They have no reference of green eggs and ham. So you have to find out how they'll eat it. And if they will eat it in the way if they will try it in the way that if you can give it the way that they will eat it, then they will taste it. And then they may find that they like it, Mikey. So you need to understand that it's going to be very important that you know who you're serving, you know what they're serving, and you know how they will eat it. You know how they're going to eat it. Will you eat it on a bike? Will you eat it on a trike? Will you eat it in a house? Will you eat it in a car? Will you eat it on a boat? Please, you need to try these green eggs and ham. However, you know how it goes. So the realization is you are serving something, and you're serving people, and there's power in it, because once you serve someone, they become a loyal, not a royal. They become a loyal. And when you serve someone, they become a loyal. And loyalty is a massive place that you want. We call it affiliate programs. We call it membership or sponsorship programs. These people have come out of loyalty. And so when you serve someone, it creates the power of loyalty. And the power of loyalty is this thing that you can create other programs on. So you want the other programs. If you have other offers that you're going to give your clients, they come in through a challenge, a free offer, or an opt-in, and you want to be, but that's the way you serve them from the moment they give you the email or the moment they communicate with you and somehow, and you serve them instead of just trying to take for them. That loyalty is going to be built, and they're going to be locked in as people who want to stay in relationship with you. And that's what you want. You want them to want to stay in relationship with you. Let's look at another scripture, Matthew 20, verse 25. We're moving through this. Matthew 20:25 says, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them." Now, this is talking about leadership, top leadership down. Those people, the people that are being referred to, they lorded over them. They had a ruling way of downward over them, authority over them. It says, "Yet it shall be." It shall not be so among you. So Jesus is telling us here, this is not the kind of leadership we want. We don't want the kind of leadership that is going to be lording over. We want a different kind of leadership. This is not going to be the leadership that comes from me. So you ever want to know how Jesus led, or why he's a movement that a headline can't get rid of? The atheists and every kind of person that would rise up, or secularism, will try to stomp out his leadership. We'll try to say he's ineffective, or even we'll study and say, well, he had great principles and these are great things to learn. Well, you have to understand that these principles are eternal. They're not temporary. So they don't get stumped out. They don't get crushed out. They don't become old headlines. Look what it says. And yet it shall not be so among you. But whoever desires to become great among you, let him be first your servant. If you want someone to be the leader over you, let them first be seen as a servant. Show your service. Now, I don't believe in this idea that I'm this servant leadership thing. I don't believe in that, in the sense that I don't want to have to be forced into serving you. I want to serve you. I want my leadership to serve you. And I don't want to have to feel like I have to, if you're a real leader, you should serve me. That's not what we're going to do. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, because that also diminishes my authority to be a leader and to serve willingly. We're not doing that. That's not what this is saying. This is saying, if you are going to raise someone up, raise them up as someone that you see them as leading you through loving you, serving you, taking care of you, helping you, building you, strengthening you. They've created loyalty, they've created connection, right? So this idea that we're leaders, there must be servant leaders. I'm gonna just not go there and go, hey, that's great. Yes, dude. No, we're not doing that. So, but what we are doing, but whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. So this is talking to the person who is picking a leader, person who's picking. If you're picking a leader, pick someone who serves you, not someone who controls you, not someone who demands from you, someone who serves you. That doesn't mean that you're never going to serve. It just means that they have you in mind. They have their heart. They've hidden you in their heart. They want to help you. They want to be strong with you. If you want to follow someone into how to create wealth, then find someone who serves you. Someone who's serving, then they're not gonna take advantage of me, because a person who serves you is not looking to take advantage of you. They're looking to increase you, looking to build you up, they're looking to add to you. Look for that person who serves you. Whoever desires to be first among you, that's the high again, let him be your slave. Let that person serve you. Let that person give to you. Let that person tie themselves to making sure that you're better. It says, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. Now, Jesus is saying very clearly, I didn't come to be served. And yet there were people serving him. People were serving him. They were helping him. It wasn't that he didn't say, don't help me, but he says, the reason I'm here is to serve you. Oh, and you want to serve me while I serve you? That's fine. What a relationship. What a reciprocal relationship. I give to you, you give to me. Now that is a healthy relationship, that we're serving each other, that you're not just here to supply my vision, but I'm here to help your vision. Jesus said it to his disciples. He said when he was gathering his disciples, he says, follow me and I will make you. Follow me and I will make you. What is that? That's a powerful statement. If you follow me, come with me. What's the point of following me? Following me is you're going to serve with me, but while you serve with me, I'm going to make you into something. I wrote that in this book, Followership. If you follow me, I will make you, what? Fishers of men. Well, Jesus was not a fisher. He was a carpenter. And so in this position as a carpenter, as a leader, he said, I know I can make you better at whatever you do because I'm here to serve you. Not because I'm here to control you, not because I'm here to direct your life. I'm here to serve you, and I can make you a better person. And so I want to bring this part. So I was, years ago, I read a book called The Soul of Service. The Soul of Service. And it's really a powerful book, and it gives a case study of all of these companies who have made service their pinnacle. And as they served their customers became extremely loyal, and it just it exploded their profitability and their income. And one of the companies in the book is the Container Store. And it had this story of a gentleman who had taken a flight, got to another city, didn't have his wallet, couldn't rent a car, something of the sort, and he was needing to get he was needing to get his wallet. So a relative, I believe his wife, came and she was trying to get the wallet sent on the plane by the staff. The staff couldn't do that, and so there was a person in the line waiting to take this next flight to the same city. She turned to this person and said, are you headed to this city? Yes. And she said, my husband is there needing to rent a car. He needs this wallet. Would you take it? And he said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And he said, well, can I ask you a question? Why are you asking me to do this? And she says, well, you are an employee of the Container Store. I see you're wearing their shirt as an employee shirt, and I shop there all the time. I'm loyal to them, and I know the service of the Container Store. Now, to me, that is a gripping. To me, that grips me with the idea and the identity of what we want our customers to feel about us and the loyalty. This person gets on the plane, takes the wallet to the man. He's able to rent a car, but it was simply because this lady had been shopping at the Container Store over and over, knows their loyalty, knows that they go the extra mile, knows that they have in them this soul of service. The soul of service is in them. And so this gentleman wearing the shirt represented the company, not just himself. A bigger movement. See, it was bigger, and he fulfilled the loyalty and the service of the company. If you can get into you and into your business and into the people around you that we're here to serve, and that will create a movement as we serve the people around us. It will create it will create a lot of moments that create a movement into the marketplace, and it will bring about change. I can go over story after story. The whole Nordstrom's idea is based upon the soul of service, serving your community well. I mean, you can go through one after another, just the idea of serving your customer and the community well. And that will bring about such a change. I believe that some of the brands that we are really loyal to, we're loyal because they've done that. They've done that work. Let me tell you a few things about this leadership based upon followership, this leadership based upon serving, becoming great, and having power, the power of serving that will lead you to greater profitability is extremely important that you know that. And again, it's in my book, Followership. I talk a lot about this. Number one, the gift of leading is found within serving. The gift of leading is found within serving. Number two, serving must be done with the gift that is within you. You don't just serve people. The only time you serve a person is when you know you have something. If I say to you, could you get me a glass of water, or let me see, milk? I don't drink milk, but could you give me a glass of milk? We don't have any milk. Well, you can't serve me then because you don't have it. So serving automatically puts you in a position of possession of something. You possess something that other people need. You possess something that other people want. And so when you position yourself as I'm a servant, that means I have something that people want, that I'm going to serve them what I have. And if you are skilled, talented, you have an ability, serve the people with what's in you, what you have. If you can sew, serve people with it. If you can sing, serve people with it. If whatever you do, if you can dance, break dance, serve people with it. Oh, I better not say that one. Number three, every great person or leader has served. Every great person or leader has served, and it was the serving that released the gift of leading. So every great person that you see that's greatness, they've served. And it was their serving that released the leader in them. So when you're serving, you're not just learning to serve, you're learning what leadership looks like. You're learning what it feels like to lead other people. And you're learning the gift of leadership. It's going to come out of you. Number four, you will understand more about what it is to lead from the days that you serve. I know what it is to lead because of how I served. because of how I served. Number 5, serving enables me to recognize how great recognize great future leaders. So I'm able to look at people and see, oh, that's going to be a great leader. I'll go to a restaurant and there's waiters and people who serve me. I'm like, that's going to be a great person. Look how they do it well. Their excellence, the way that they carry themselves, their concern for me, right? There's leadership there. So when you recognize servant, you should also recognize leadership. If you're building a team, recognize servant. A person comes and works with you, they have a great resume, but they don't serve. They walk past the trash on the ground and they don't pick it up, or they sit around waiting to be told what to do. Then they've got to be drawn out of service, so you got to help them. And then there may be a couple times you say, well, did you see that? Let's pick this up. When we see this kind of thing, they may not have been trained. They may have never been developed in that way. And then see if they respond like that again. If they still walk past it, then they may not be a good leadership growth. They may not be good for your community if they don't know how to serve. And so it's going to be important that you watch people and how they serve to determine the level and capacity of leader that they'll be in the future. So that helps me keep my eyes fresh because I'm looking. Number 6, never feel that being a servant is weak. Never feel that being a servant is weak. Jesus says that serving is greatness. And serving is greatness. The greatest among you is servant. And so, no, never think that leading is better than Jesus never said that leading is greatness. It says service is greatness. So serving is not weak. Leadership is founded in its very core in serving. The reason we raise you up as leaders is because you serve the realm of where you work or what you do, you serve well. And when you do that well, you deserve to be raised up as a leader. Man, I just love that. All right, we give when you're giving out of the greatness within you. So we give out the greatness that's within. When you have greatness in you, then you want to serve other people. Great people want to serve people. Great people don't want to be served. Great people know I have greatness in me. I'm going to serve the world with it. I have greatness within me. I'm going to serve the world. Will you say that about yourself? I have greatness within me, and I'm going to serve the world with it. So whether it's Bruce Lee, who was the world's top martial artist in his day, but he didn't want to serve the world just as a martial artist in a dojo, but he decided he wanted to serve the world as a martial artist on film and as an entertainer. So he decided, I want to be an entertainer. I have greatness within me, and I'm going to serve the world this. And his chief aim, he said, and I will be paid millions of dollars by doing that by this certain time. We'll develop a chief aim. We'll teach you how to do that in the future. But that's what he did. He developed the chief aim. He said, well, how can I serve the world? I'm going to give the world this. The world's going to pay me this for what I serve them because I'm great at this, and this is my greatness, and I'm going to serve the world, all the world, by doing this. When you have something great within you, you'll serve the world well. Number 8, last and final, then I've got to run out of here. It says that there is greatness in each of us. The question is, are you willing to serve it out of you? Are you willing to serve it out of you? You have greatness within you. Let that greatness be served out of you. You don't know how great it is until you've served at a higher level, a higher capacity. Well, it's been really great to talk to you again this weekend on YouTube, a little bit earlier than normal, got to run out, but I'm so glad that you were able to stop in today. And of course, I love having my influencers here in Zoom with me, and we're going to jump back into Zoom. We are Influencers Accelerator. If you want to know more about that, go to influencersaccelerator.global and you can jump in. It's a high level commitment to a community in the sense that we are growing together, we're serving each other, we're building even businesses together, but there is a community of faith-based, value-based believers that believe that Jesus wants us to be wealth creators, and we want you to be a part of that. So look into it if you're interested in that. Otherwise, continue to come back here. I'm going to continue to serve you in YouTube until all the families of the world have been served by me and blessed. All right. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, there's other YouTubers going to suggest something for you to watch, and they're going to suggest for you to subscribe. So I say do both of those things. We'll see you next time.